Hello everybody, it's me John aka Nosy and I'm here for a brand new Transformers review. Today I am going to be reviewing Transformers Legacy United Animated Optimus Prime. Let's roll the titles and let's get straight into it. Here he is. Here is the brand new United Animated Optimus Prime in his alt mode. Yeah, now it is very interesting to see a new current line. I mean, obviously, the whole thing with Transformers Legacy lines, that all phases of it so far, they are going in and out of different lines. G1, different continuities, Unicron trilogy and all that kind of jazz. And it's great to kind of see some appreciation for animated coming back into a current line as well. I mean, Transformers Animated is one of my favourite series. I know it was a bit polarising when it first came out. When I first watched the first episode, I was a bit unsure of animated myself because of how different it looked, like the character designs. But the more I stuck with it and watched it, I just grew to love it, and I just loved all the voice acting talent a part of that show, and the toy line as well that came a part of it at the time as well was just beautiful. But this new take, or modernized, or whatever you want to call it, this new take on animated Optimus Prime, it is a very, very nice figure. I do have a couple problems with mine. It's not much of a problem. But at the same time, it's sort of annoying, and it's when we will be getting into the robot mode. In this mode, there's no problems at all. The wheels roll very nicely. Yeah, it just looks the business. Very, very, very tidy. The way the legs transform and everything can fold up, it's really quite good. Is that you can hardly see any trace of leg except for these bits. And obviously the feet are obviously kind of here, but then this is where you put his axe for storage ability. Let me take the axe off for the moment. Put that there. So this is basically what we get. It's a little bit thingy, obviously the feet. This is how the feet store, which is a little bit strange, but what can you do? I'm guessing that because there's ports in there, yes, it is for the axe, but part of me is wondering if they might maybe bring out, or was considering on maybe a trailer, or a coexisting trailer, a part of a toy line might be able to work with this guy. Do not quote me on that, but it's just the fact that we have two ports there makes me think that maybe we could probably have a trailer and they could quite easily just port in there. But anyway, but yeah, it is a really, really nice. This alt mode is lovely. Have a nice look see at the front there. You can see there is some ever so slight changes to the original character design from the animated series and also the original toy. Ever so slightly, mostly around the front end and the way the grille is and the wheels, the way that they're covered over. I don't remember them covered over on the original toy, but anyway. But it is a very, very nice mould. And it's a nice mould, and it's a nice design, and it is a nice truck mode. But let's transform him, and let's get into the robot mode. So let me try and remember this, because this is literally the first time transforming him back. So the feet kind of just come out on peg, and then you can just sort of finger them back up to the sides like this. Just get them completely out the way for now. Unpeg them, because they do connect with like a little, there's like a little connector point there. And then we just, let me remember, what we do is the legs up here, they peg right in. They just simply just come straight down like so. And then what we do there is we basically just close them back up. So we basically, this bit here, that was right up here to begin with, that closes in on itself and closes in, and then the foot then, which goes like that, you basically just post it straight back in. So that's one leg finished, and we just do the same for the other side. Bring it in on like a double hinge, close up, and then the foot. So there is the leg sorted. Now what we do is, oh, that's annoying, this thing, there we go, yeah. So we were obviously in this point. This is obviously the robot mode waist that pegs in, and we just unpeg it and everything just hangs loose. Swivel all this cab bit straight round, 360, and then this bit comes down, and then we just unpeg the shoulders and the arms like so, and then these bits swivel and unpeg, so the sides completely like that, and they sort of unpeg, and as you can see, as you unpeg, these side skirt bits where the wheels are come up, and then you just sort of come right down, I think like that, and then you just sort these arms out. So you just bring up and twist, and then make sure everything's pegged in. And as you can see, with doing that, we then reveal the head, and then the back bit, like the lights, that just comes straight up and it just rests straight like that. And then the front bit just goes in to that recess here, and then it just goes straight up like that. And then the last thing we need to do and then they just sort of fold into the sides there like that. Yeah, that is right. And then the arms, we just get our nail in like that and bring up the fist, and that then finishes off the transformation. So just bring everything to the side, bring his head there, and there we have it. A very simple transformation, you know, it's a very simple transformation, and the way that the legs just simply just go into each other is a nice touch. Straight off the bat, before we get too much more into the review, I do have a slight issue with mine. Now, when I first got this figure and I was having a play around, you know, transforming him for the first time and that, and I noticed this leg, the left leg, on mine, there is a very strange ball joint problem. It is a slight problem. I'm not sure if, like, over time it might start to slacken off a bit. It could just be a simple case of a stiff joint because of it being a brand new figure. But there is something with it on mine. Apparently, because I brought this up on Facebook and on Instagram, asking if anybody else has had a similar problem, and someone mentioned that their arm, one of the arms and one of the legs on theirs does the same thing as mine. very stiff, and it just sort of like springs back into position. So some people have had it with the arm. I've got it with the leg. So, and then some people don't have a problem at all. So I'm guessing it's just certain figures, like a QC issue maybe. But I'm just going to show you what I'm on about. Is when, if you notice, this right hand leg operates perfectly. There is no spring back. I can get it into any position I like, no problem. This one, the left one, watch what happens. I've got to put a lot more force onto it, and it just simply springs straight back into position from where it was. Once I get to this point, then that doesn't happen. That you can feel within there that there's kind of like, once you get past a certain point, you can feel like a bit of resistance, and then it stays in position. But when you take it out of that, it just, see, I don't know what that is. It could just be a simple stiff joint, but the fact is that there is more figures out there with this issue, not just mine. Part of me, when I first was playing around with it, I thought, was there maybe meant to be like a gimmick with this thing? Maybe kind of like, because I do remember one of the Transformers animated Optimus Prime figures used to have a gimmick, and I believe I don't know which one it was, but it was basically the full torso swung round, so that you basically had kind of like a like a gimmick for the axe. But obviously these figures don't have a gimmick to them. They just simply come with an accessory or accessories. They're just simply just a figure without any gimmick on them at all. But it's just strange. But obviously it's not for a gimmick, of course. But I mean, I don't really mind. You know, this thing, I'm very happy with the figure as he is. I'm very happy to have him. He's a representation of the animated toy line, which holds a special place in my heart. It's just a little annoying because this leg prohibits a little bit of the playability factor and getting him into some sort of poses. It poses a problem. See what I did there? It poses a slight problem when it comes to posing the figure. So this leg, the left hand leg on mine, just simply does that. And you can really feel that compared to the right hand leg and the left hand leg, you can really feel you've got to put a lot more force in there in order to move that leg out compared to the other side. So yeah, that's a slight issue I have with my figure that I wanted to just bring forward. Hopefully, let me know in the comments below if you see this review and you've got this guy yourselves. Let me know if you have a slight issue on yours as well, whether it's an arm or whether it's one of the legs like me, or if your figure's perfectly fine. Just let me know. I'm just kind of interested if it's a generic fault with the figure. So there's multiple figures out there with the similar kind of problem, or if it's just I've just got a slight QC issue with mine. Now, the QC problem, it doesn't pose any issue for transforming the figure. It doesn't hinder the transformation or anything like that. It just slightly hinders, ever so slightly hinders posability when it comes to posing him when he's in robot mode. Because you've got to really, you know, if you're not careful, it just springs straight back and he'll just fall over. But anyway, so let's bring him up closer. Let's have a nice little look-see at the robot mode. That head sculpt is absolutely amazing. I really do like the head sculpt on this guy. They've gone with a open face, open mouth, because obviously with animated Optimus Prime, he does have an open mouth, but he has a battle mask. When he's fighting, he has the classic Optimus battle mask of, you know, half mask over the mouth, like a face guard, mouth guard thing when he fights. But when he's speaking normally, it's always been open in animated compared to like the G1 counterparts and that. And also Rise of the Beasts went with the whole mouth thing as well. But so But yeah, so it's a very, very nice head sculpt. It really is. I do like that head sculpt. It's very, very nice. I don't have any paint blemish on there either. It's got a nice bit of silver accents because obviously that's the battle mask around like the chin and the sides there. It is a very nice head sculpt. I must admit they've done a good job with that, I think. It doesn't look quite as... He more or less looks at the Optimus Prime at the end of animated when he becomes, like, when he gets the Matrix and he becomes, you know, when he becomes much bigger than he used to be. I think it's either in the comic continuity or right at the very end, because obviously we only got 3 seasons of animated. And I do remember he seems to kind of slightly change. So he was once quite young, like a young leader, learning the ropes sort of thing, like a rookie, and then by the end he becomes a full-fledged elite guard kind of thing. It becomes a fully fledged elite professional rather than a rookie by the end of the series and that, and in the comics. So he kind of like has like a slight more mature kind of look to him later on. So I think that's kind of the inspiration there to why he looks, that head sculpt is the way it is. But the articulation, you can get in and out, obviously. Swivel, elbow goes right up to there for transformation. Ball joint swivel for the fist, ball joint for the head. And then obviously we've got swivel of the waist. We've got the legs, bend, knee bend, swivel as well, and we've got the foot pivot as well. So yeah, very nice range of articulation. So the last thing I'm going to show you is the axe. So he comes with his signature fireman's axe, which is pretty cool. It looks very close to how it used to look with the original toy. They haven't really changed it all that much, but it's quite nice with the red and the transparent blue part and the chrome paint and the darker grey for the hilt or for the handle area. Very nice. The only thing with this is, like most weapons, when it comes to putting them in their hands, there's I've found there's a little bit of resistance there. You've got to put a little bit of force in there so that it doesn't fall out as easy. But on mine, I don't know if it's the same for everyone else, but on mine, you go in like that. There hardly any resistance whatsoever. It simply just pops straight in. And if you're not careful, even though the arm is strong enough to just hold it without it, coming down naturally, but if you're not careful, it will just simply just, it will just fall out with very, very little force. So it just sort of just sits in the hand rather than anything, just kind of sits there. But either though, but it's cool. It is cool. And also you've got 2 ways for the axe to go on him. You can store it obviously in his hand as it's kind of supposed to be. And then obviously you can then also post it. There's like a post on the arms. I don't know why you'd want to do this, but you can. You can just sort of just have the axe just ported in there like that as well. Well, there we are. Thank you ever so much for watching. This has been my review on the brand new Transformers Legacy United animated Optimus Prime. Thank you ever so much for watching. Thank you for continued support on the channel. I will be back with more reviews very, very soon. I do also have the United animated Bumblebee as well, which I will be doing a review on very soon. That will be probably the next review. And then after that, I want to do a review on Deathsaurus at some point, as well as Star Saber and Leo Kaiser and all that. So keep your eyes peeled. There's plenty more reviews in the pipeline. So thank you. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye for now.